2018, developed by DICE and published by Electronic Arts for the Microsoft Windows, Sony PlayStation 4, and Microsoft Xbox One, was Battlefield 5, a first-person shooting game set within the Second World War. The game was developed after the release of Battlefield 1 from 2016, which was considered to be that of a profitable success for DICE on Electronic Arts. However, Battlefield 5 as a game had clear divisiveness among fans of the gaming franchise, on people whom had heard of the announcements for the game, even before its official release. The inaccuracies depicted within the game were considered to be clear indications of a change of quality for that installment of the Battlefield franchise, as many reasons were later considered for the failure of the game. Despite the game being released in late 2018, the game was considered so much of a failure, which during the essential 2 years of handling the game, the community often had to deal with problems or errors relating to it. The final character release of the game was the Elite of Steve Fisher. Steve Fisher as a character epitomized DICE's decisions for the game. Perhaps with a little bit of irony is that some online commentators remarked that the trailer to introduce the flamboyant character of Steve Fisher was released while the world commemorated the events of Victory in Europe Day, which commemorated the defeat of Nazi Germany during the Second World War. Steve Fisher was often despised due to the fact that the character seemed very out of place with reference to the ruthlessness or depressing nature that was the Second World War setting of the game, as the overwhelming player reaction to the character thought he was essentially a visual depiction of the United States actor of Tom Cruise, from one of his most iconic or well-known roles being that of Top Gun, from the time that it was supported by Electronic Arts and DICE, from the initial concepts to the release and tumultuous time of its existence, and finally to the character of Steve Fisher was seen to get as much money as they could out of the game before support for it ceased within the same year of the character's release. A character can be overrated yet hated because they were the final attempt to promote a video game that was nothing but a gaming disappointment and commercial failure.